Is failure good? What if failure is your friend? What if failure is a gift? Now, before you turn this off and say that guy's talking crazy, let me explain. So we tend to have a default valence towards failure, which is like, I don't like it. You know, who wants failure? I don't, not me, right? And whether you call it failure or not getting your outcome, things not going the way that you want, someone's, getting rejected, you might say, oh, that's a failure because they didn't say yes to me or whatever it is. So even if you don't use that word, the feeling we have towards not getting the outcome that we want in the time frame that we want, that's failure, we generally don't like. And it makes sense. Maybe we feel disappointed. We often put our hopes on getting an outcome. When I get X, that's going to be great for whatever reason. I will, get something that I want. I'll gain something, right? I'll get pleasure, or I'll get significance, or I'll get love, or I'll be a somebody. That's a big driver behind a lot of our goals, right? Is I'm going to be a somebody. I'm going to be worthwhile. I'm going to be special. I can have better self-esteem now, right? And so if we're not going to get it, maybe we feel less than, maybe we feel worthless, or maybe we feel scared. If I don't get that, I'm not going to survive. If I don't get that love, I'm going to die alone. If I don't get that, job, then I'm going to die on the street alone. Whether that's literally true, probably not. That's just a fear in the back of our minds, right? Security, significance, these are big drivers for us. So we don't want those feelings. And so we tend to think failure is bad. But what if we zoom out just a little bit? And one of the biggest issues with failure is our time frames. We tend to have I'm going to do X and I'm going to get Y, and it's going to be in this time frame. Bim, bam, boom, let's go. And then, bim, bam, boom, it doesn't go. Or it doesn't go as fast as you want, or it doesn't go the way that you want, or it goes a different direction. You're like, okay, I guess we're not going the bim, bam, woo. I thought, shit, So what do you do with that? Well, you could say, this is terrible. Oh my gosh, I'm anxious. I'm freaking out. I got to jump out a window, right? Or, what if this is for my best benefit? And look, it is seasoning you. It is humbling you in the best kind of ways. And I don't mean humble like you failed. Look, I told you were a nobody. Never try again. That's not humble. That's just your safety police. That's you being scared to put yourself out there and then putting a story about how it's impossible. No, what I'm talking about is truly being humbled. Like you go for something, it doesn't work, and you're like, wow, okay. I'm not God. I don't have infinite power. That's hard. I respect people who can do that. That's a lofty goal. I don't get everything I want. I don't get everything that I want in the time frame that I want. The universe is not like, we kind of have this sort of petulant, almost immature child stance, right? I said I wanted it. I should have it by now. It's like, well, do you not have it by now? Well, then more is needed. I said, but I've done so much. Okay. Maybe it's doing more. Maybe you need to do more. Why? Because you don't have it yet. But maybe it isn't about doing more, because sometimes we can go frantically do a bunch of stuff, right? And it's kind of not that effective. We're just buzzing around, being busy, taking a bunch of actions. Maybe what's needed that's more is for you to claim something more inside of you. That's like, no, I deserve more. Or maybe it's like, no, I'm more committed to the result because here's why. Or I'm going to need to care more about the people that I'm impacting through whatever this project or whatever it is, right? And all of a sudden now you have more resources that you're coming from, more energy, more perspective, more wisdom, more flexibility. And so maybe you're not doing a whole lot more. Have you ever had that? Have you ever had that happen where you've been taking all this action? I remember working with a client who this was in dating, and he was taking all this action and being on all these apps and setting all these dates and getting dates. And it was just kind of a whole lot of meh. It was energy intensive and effortful, and either, he was irritated and didn't like them, or they, if he liked them, they didn't like him back. So there's this dance where I just can't have what I want. And, when he started working with me, it was like, I gotta do more. get more confidence so I can get more dates. And I'm like, okay, all right, possibly. And maybe want to work on your energy and your approach, because I think no matter how many dates you go on, something might be missing. And sure enough, right beneath the surface, there is a huge amount of, I'm not where I should be in life. I should be married by now. I'm not even enough. I can't even sustain a relationship even if I gotten one. All sorts of doubts and fears and everything. So what is needed there? More of what? Not just more dating. He needs to do more. He needs to claim more for himself. He needs to see more of his own wins and his own value. Then things will start to shift. And then it's like more skillful use of your action. You just push on the right door as opposed to like trying to bulldoze your way through the brick walls. So failure is teaching you something. Failure is feedback. Failure is information. Failure is showing you that you're not like a toddler who can demand that the universe give you what you want, right when you want it. I mean, you can do that all day long. We all do that. We all have that inner toddler who's like, it didn't happen in the time frame that I wanted. Okay. And then we get humbled. And one of the things that I really appreciate about failures in my life is just how it's always about time and time frame. It's like, I need it now or else, or just like, what if you just really zoom out? What if it doesn't happen right away? What if it doesn't happen in the way that you wanted? What if you need to go through something to get out to the other side? What if you need to have a messy divorce to create something beautiful and extraordinary next in love? What if you need to have that business go under? You need to lose your job. In order to what? In order to guide you to something. And I don't even know what that something is, but I do know this, that if you approach life that way, then you get better at some things. Then you have higher energy and you're more resourceful and you're better off for it. So share down below in the comments what you're learning, what you're seeing about yourself. I'm really curious how this lands for you. And until we speak again, may you have the courage to be who you are and to know on a deep level that you're awesome. I'll talk to you soon.